Big Gold Belt Media is your golden standard for all of your media needs. Visit biggoldbelt.com for pro wrestling info, movies, comics, and even more digital content. On all of your social medias, follow us at Big Gold Belt all across the board. Listen to this show and more on your SoundCloud or wherever you get your podcasts.
We were back here rocking, y'all. We was back here rocking. What up, y'all? It's your girl, Amaya Design, of course, the one and only.
NEC 23, man.
And listen, we got a surprise for y'all. Y'all ain't seen this person, but we got the one and only Pull Up Tone. It's our producer in the building. Yeah. Welcome to the stage, Tone.
Hey man, what's going on? I'm happy to be in front of y'all. I had to pop out. Sometimes you gotta pop out and show niggas. So
you know I'm here. Rightfully so. It's the finale. Yo, we've been here. Y'all been rocking with us. 8 episodes. Paradise on Hulu, Disney, and it will be streaming on ABC come April, y'all. If y'all haven't seen this show, okay, and we've already been announced. We get into season 2.
Season 2.
Okay.
Please. Woo! Yo, I'm excited for
this. This has been a ride.
Listen, all I want to say is Paradise. You owe me nothing for season 1, but definitely. I am definitely looking forward to season 2. Okay, because Absolutely. The way they conclude, this is how you conclude a season. All right, I just want to let everybody know out there that I am beyond impressed by this show. This is probably the best show I've seen in the last 3 years, okay? And I've watched a lot of shows in this time. And I want to say this show so far has not disappointed by any means.
And you was fronting on the show at the beginning. Mention that.
I wasn't fronting. I didn't know what to expect, so I wasn't overly how y'all was initially. Y'all feel like y'all was overly. I was confused on what the plot was, but I was intrigued enough to want to watch it. You know what I mean?
Listen,
the trailer didn't give us much. The first episode is what really sucked my teeth into the show, though. Once you really watch that first episode, and then you continue through the season like y'all did with us. Come on, man, y'all been doing.
You know, shout out to Daniel Fogelman, right? He's also the creator of This Is Us, and Paradise is his show, right? And he does exactly what we expect him to do. He literally grabs our attention and then he takes off. So I mean, of course, a shout out to Sterling K. Brown and all the other actors and actresses, James Marsden, Julianne Nicholson. You know what I mean? They really held it down. It was a great cast.
Nah, really great cast, man.
Shout out to Robinson Wig.
Yeah.
So my question is this is actually, I'm going to say Axe Tone. What do you feel from the first episode to the last episode? Do you feel anything that you predicted from off the trailer? Or could you predict where things was going in this episode?
Nah, from this episode, no. But off the trailer, I definitely did not expect this to be post-apocalyptic. I thought it was gonna be on some protect the president type of vibe, some White House down type of vibe. And I didn't expect this at all. I really didn't. But there was certain things throughout the show that I was fake on the money with. And I think there was with Xavier and how he found out, or I don't know. I think that I thought when James texted that she did whatever, I predicted that, but nah. Other than that, it was small parts.
Listen, I think that you couldn't have told me it was going to end this way, but I mean, and if you haven't seen the finale, please do not do this, right? Because this is a spoiler review. We are getting ready to tell you all of the details, getting nitty gritty. I will say that from the way in which they crafted this story in episode 8, when it takes you back to episode 1, mind blown on so many different pieces.
Yeah, that little reminisce was that was a good one.
My ears came to my eyes as the full circle. They didn't leave anything unanswered. Everything got answered for me.
Yeah. Well, let's jump into that. Your man's. I just gotta say it. The librarian. Okay.
Wow, that's how we starting. That's how we start.
At this point, let's do it.
Starting. Oh wow.
Listen, it's mind blowing to me, and the reason why I'm starting there is because we remember episode 1. We remember seeing some weirdo on the White House lawn doing, you know what I'm saying? So it's the full circle for me was mind blowing.
Yo.
It was really the fact that the episode really began with Xavier's bullet wound on his shoulder. Panning in. I said, what's that? He got shot. And then they show that he got shot. And then, So that's definitely.
Not gonna lie. Best. The foreshadow. What's the for after foreshadow? Like when you go back and rewind whatever that is, man. That whole thing where they told the story frontwards and backwards this whole season, and it made sense throughout the whole season. I loved every bit of it. Like, well written, freaking written, man. That's crazy.
It's definitely very, very intense. It's very intentional, and I like that. So, all right, so we're gonna do this. So, of course, the episode opens up. We're doing a flashback, 12 years, right? And it's crazy to even think that it's been that long, right? But it's 12 years ago when Sam basically said, "Hey, listen, build my city," right? And we see this a really amazing storytelling type on the workers who are building this city. And of course, right, I didn't even expect that. I didn't expect to see them in the city alone to get that storyline. And so we get to learn that Abdam Maram, right? I'm hoping I'm saying that name right.
His name Adam. Call him Adam, man. We not going. His name was Abdul Dalu Mam.
He appreciates us for trying, though.
Exactly, that part. He appreciates us for trying. And so Adam, you see him sitting down with who we get to know is Trent, which is the project manager. And they build this, relationship. You see them and with the rest of the guys building this family, because obviously they're out here building this project. It's going to take them some years. That's, expected that they're going to become a family and kind of just get to know each other and lean in on them, right? And little by little, we now acknowledge or now see that Trent goes to Anders and says, like, listen, this is, what is this now? It is, yeah, see, that's what happens when you have too many notes, people. I'm looking at my notebook right now. But basically it's sulfide, right?
It's iron something sulfate. So
iron arsenic sulfate.
Yes, iron arsenic sulfate.
And this is important because anybody who knows anything about chemicals, when they're mixed together, or even just some ones that stand alone, they can be very harmful and dangerous.
I'm sorry, not even that. Like, I feel just knowing what we know about mining culture in general.
Right, I was gonna say
back in the day, like with the Lyme disease and things like that. Mining is definitely really dangerous business. So the fact that they was really mining this mountain to create a city, and the only thing that he cared about was if it's gonna be safe later, Like, what? We got people in here now. Like, what's going on?
Well, I will say that I don't think that it was that Anderson wanted to know if it'd be safe later. I think he was as scared of Sinatra as he wanted, you know what I mean? And that's what I got from it. I knew that he was afraid. And because he says that and he's like, you don't want to mess with these people, right? Like, these people are not people you want to play with. So he got a job to do. He was hired for a job, right? And he's scared that if he don't get his job finished, that it might be his head, rightfully so, from what we know about Sinatra.
So what we do know about Sinatra now is, yes, she is a lunatic, crazy person who's willing to do whatever she got to do. Like, she's more sociopathic than lunatic, for real. But we gonna talk about it later. But in that moment, I feel like, yes, he was scared, but how do you not care about these people's lives? You more scared of this one person or these people than you care about these people's lives? Like, that's crazy to me.
It really makes me ask if Sinatra. We've been seeing that Sinatra is a monster throughout this whole time when everything started. If he was that scared then, what was she doing then? Like, was it just as bad? Like, she was really having to be pulling strings like that because petrified.
She had to start somewhere, because she did tell Gabriella, listen, I've done some horrible things that I'm not who you think I am. So, like, how far back does mean streak really go? Like, was she out here killing rabbits as a child?
Listen,
like,
let the record show I've been calling Sinatra a monster since day one. Okay, since day one. Listen, to y'all know, y'all online with me. Chat in the comments. Let me know. I know y'all know I've been calling Sinatra a monster from day one. I've been saying, get her out of here since the dawn of paradise.
Yo, that's hilarious, because that's very true. You definitely didn't give Sinatra not a chance.
No, not at all. She didn't deserve it. And as we see them, and here's the thing. I love that there's this passion that Trent has so much. So here's what I will say. Look at the spectrum of how they played this scene out. Trent is super passionate about his people and wants to protect them at all costs. Anders, on the other hand, needs to get the project done at all costs and doesn't necessarily care about the people. And that's a really great play on the two spectrums. On
society. That's
right.
That's crazy. I think that's what makes people the most afraid of Paradise. Like, things I see in the comments and things like that when people interacting, is I think that it's so realistic. It's so real. Like, the perspective that they're writing from is so realistic that we can really see it happening.
Absolutely.
And that's what's so crazy, because it's like, how do the people who are building your homes, building your new society, building your new environment, your new fake buildings that you're gonna have your cheese fries,
and they don't
even get a cheese fry. Like, they don't get nothing. Like, come on,
nothing. You say you ain't put in on this. What you talk about? But
no cheese fries. No cheese fries.
To me, it shows, like you said, it shows the very end-to-end spectrum dynamic of the world that we currently live in, because there are absolutely people who care about people and want to make sure people are okay, and then there are other people who will step on people to get to where they want to be and don't have a care in the world, right? And so as we see, Trent is passionate about his people. He decides he's calling Adam. He's like, hey, pick up. I know you think I'm crazy, but pick up and talk to me. And then he decides to take matters into his own hands. He gets a 3D printer. He prints out the gun. And this is after doing research. We see his wall. We see pictures of Cal. We see him putting the dots together between Cal, his dad, the money, knowing that this is not a recycling project. Like, we're not building a recycling facility, right? And him knowing all these things, and if enough was enough with a person, it would be Trent.
I'm not gonna lie. That was probably the biggest motivational backstory that I could get behind. Like, I liked Cal as a person, but after watching this episode, I understand why he had to die. And he wasn't even the one that was supposed to die. He was the martyr, though.
Exactly.
He was the martyr. He was the martyr, and that's the problem that I didn't like, but I do understand. That Kyle had to go.
I will agree with that.
Kyle was the martyr, man. It's crazy. Tone, what you think?
I don't know. I mean, I feel like as soon as they started to tell the story, like really grab you emotionally, like, you know, the Adam, he started out odd one out. Then project manager, it got his heart that he said, I'm sending my bread to my mother. The other one straight to the strip club, you know? And I knew that really tugged at his heartstrings, and he felt something for Adam. So he's sitting down, he chopped it up. Adam got him eating fufu and a goosey. He like, listen, no, you boil it up and all of that. And I felt like, along with him wanting to protect his people, he really had a soft spot for Adam, and like that joint really got obsessive to the point because he knew what he knew, and he was trying to help his dog, like, you know, trying to prevent it. And when it happened, he was still trying to get him out of there or whatever. So it was just like, it was just sad to see that, and I feel like he took that obsession very, very far to the highest limit and decided like, oh, I'm going all the way. So I mean.
Wait, I got a question for you, Ish. Do you feel Xavier should have gave that same level of urgency to his wife to not go to Atlanta?
Listen, I'm not doing this. I'm not doing this with you.
Yo,
let me know, man.
But no funny. Trent is a project manager. Let's be for real. He's a project manager. He don't have lives in his stake like that, except for those lives. But come on.
I'm saying he had a little bit of information, right? Xavier had a little bit of information, and they just handled it completely different. And that's all I'm saying.
You know what?
I'm saying. My man went above and beyond.
I will give you that, right? Lives are at stake, but also like listen, Trent had enough. He actually had more information if you think about it, right? He said this is detrimental to the guys who are working it. And he knew specifics. Xavier didn't have specifics. He did the best that he could. It is what it is. The good thing is, hey, listen, episode 8, 7 episodes later, she's still alive. So hey,
hey man, luckily, listen, that man is the luckiest man on television. Okay, your wife been dead for 4 years, and now you found her alive. It's crazy. And now we turned in from Paradise to I Am Legend. I'm not gonna lie. I'm ready to see what's out there. Okay.
Listen, but that is such a great leading episode to leave us off like that with him getting ready to go outside. Listen, we gonna get there, but they just do such a great job.
Oh my God.
They do such a great job thinking about this. It's like it's beautifully written. It really is. And so Trent gets the gun, he gets arrested, Xavier gets shot. This is kind of where that scenario pops in that we've seen previously in the other episodes. And Trent is not only locked up, he's locked up in a Colorado jail. Like,
listen, if that wasn't some divine intervention for you,
I mean, that's how he viewed it. Adam.
Definitely.
Hey man, he said, listen, what are the odds that the prison I get sent to after shooting the president is in Colorado?
Yeah.
I'm not gonna lie, that was guys. I ain't gonna lie.
I was supposed to save y'all. Y'all not listening.
Oh Lord.
I was supposed to save y'all. Y'all not listening.
He did. I ain't gonna lie.
I mean, he really did get lucky though, right? Because think about it. He breaks out, he takes the guard's uniform, and then he decides, as he's searching random cars, he manages to get the car that the librarian and the wife actually have access to the coordinates. I mean, like,
he's smart. That's what he's looking for.
I mean, of course he's smart, but like, I'm just thinking that's a shock factor. Did that in any way? Did you see that coming, Tone? Like, what were your thoughts when he broke out?
Not yo, when he broke out, I'm like, I see him take the knife, so I'm like, okay, you gotta protect yourself. Then I see the uniform. I was low key looking on the uniform for the knife,
I
for
was
the
too.
knife
I
mark.
was
I'm
too.
like, what that? I'm like, maybe he coming or whatever. But I realized, I noticed when I seen that he was starting to walk people, like he says on a, you gotta walk there, and I'm realizing, I'm like, oh, this is arrival day because that traffic is crazy. You hear people beeping. It sounds like chaos. And once I realized that he chose somebody with the beard too. I don't know if that had to be intentional because his
Yeah.
beard was deep. Like he had to have say Yahtzee, got lucky again, and then popped them. And then the part like when he found Shorty, it was just that was another lucky part.
I
Like
mean, she was the lucky one because for real, like even when they started when we see them figuring it out, right? Because by this time, Xavier goes to Robinson, and hey Max, look at Max making an appearance. Robinson is talking to Xavier, like, because Xavier's like, yo, let them go. Like, let them go, give the guns back, do whatever, yada, yada, yada. And she's trying to figure out why. Like, what does she have on you? And he's like, my daughter. This is when we realize Presley is still with Jane, right? And what is the next move? And I thought for a second Xavier was spiraling when he was like, do whatever you want to do. Like, I'm gonna go figure it out. They said that the DNA is from somebody who doesn't belong here, who's an outsider, XYZ. And I thought for a second he was gonna spiral just because he couldn't. His main focus obviously is Presley.
right.
So
I feel like in that whole exchange between Xavier and Robinson, that he was had a little misplaced anger towards Robinson. I feel like she ain't do nothing wrong. She did everything you told her to do when you told her to do it.
that's true.
So that misplaced anger was definitely misdirected. Like I get that your
They
daughter
definitely
got
switched
taken.
places.
Yeah, like
They did.
I definitely get that your daughter was taken. However, that wasn't on me. That was on you to protect your daughter, and you failed. The same way you failed to get your wife to the airport. I'm just sorry.
I won't give you that. I'm not gonna give you that. I'm not gonna give you that. Now you OD.
Maybe. Because listen, man, I just feel like any other time he's been level-headed in messed up situations, it hasn't taken his anger out on anyone else. But now you take it out on Robinson after you just was buddy with her last.
I don't think he gave her that much
He
anger.
He should have given her any.
He was on some. Listen, he was on some. I'm gonna do this. You do what you gotta do. I really don't care. Like he didn't really like go off about giving the guns back or whatever. He said, "Give the guns." She like what? And he was like, "All right, well, I'm out." And he was on his way to.
I don't think he was.
Yeah, I don't know. I just feel like that exchange. I just feel like he was moving very abrupt, and I ain't like that for him.
Nah, I think I'm gonna go with 1D forever on this. They are hard headed. He told you to stay. Listen, when your parents told you to take your ass inside the house before the lights come on, what you do? You take your ass inside the house before the lights come on. He told you to stay put. You decided to leave because you want to go with Jeremy and hang out and get this iPad open. No. That's not what I told you to do. So I can't say that. I think that he was concerned. I don't think he gave Robinson as much attitude and mouth that he could have given her. He's still processing everything. Mind you, because think about this. We're still coming off of Gabriella basically evading them, right? So then having the whole conversation with Sinatra. Now you're talking about my wife is alive, and YouTube was trying to figure out if it was AI or not. So did we figure it out?
All right. So we now know that it's not AI.
It's real.
Okay, it's real. But come on, man. It was just the convenience of Sinatra having this information to save her life. And
did it though?
She's sneaky.
Well, listen, if it wasn't for Jane, Jane, hands down, best character of the show.
We're not doing this.
Oscar.
Yo, Jane needs a freaking award, man. Like
Oscar.
She is the best television villain besides like Sinatra herself. Come on, I'm just saying.
Yeah.
Like who? Who else is given this level of like unpredictability in the
I don't
show?
know, but I never saw her coming, like at any point in time. And I thought that the one time that we seen her do something, I'm like, oh, that's because then she went back to playing that little innocent space, and then she came on this another. I'm like, yo, who is this chick?
Yo,
like, who is she?
Crazy. All for a we. All for a we, guys. Oh,
hey, yo,
freaking we.
It's the ends of the earths. You need weed to keep you sane, apparently, because she is definitely the Lulu. She ain't got no marbles.
Ladies and gentlemen, if you've seen this episode, just know, get you a we before the end of the earth. All right.
It'll save your life again.
It'll save your life.
Like what?
Get every game system. Like not just the we. Get every game system.
When Jane had spoke to when Sinatra called Jane, right? She spoke to her and she was like cutting her off. She was like, I need you to keep a lick. She like, okay, I got it. Like, it was like, why she cutting her? I'm thinking like she's cutting her off because she's super like loyal, obedient. And by the end of the conversation, she's like, man, can I get my weed? So I'm like, she's like, are you crazy? Because she said weed. I'm like, weed? You doing all this for a weed? She's like, you're nuts? She's like, all right, I'll execute. Yeah, and banged it on her. I'm like, oh, Oscar. In my notes, I have
crazy
notes for Jane Oscar right next to it. Crazy. She's crazy.
I feel like she definitely is a slept character for sure. She's a sleeper character, rather.
I feel like in that scene, I don't know if she was rushing. I felt initially she was rushing her off the phone so Presley didn't overhear the conversation of who she was talking to. But then when she asked for the we, I'm with you, Tone. They lost me. It was like, oh, are you crazy? Like, she said the president had some games that I like did, and I just wanted to know if I could have him now. He's dead. He's dead. He don't need him.
Nah, I was doing a lot for you, and listen, this is what I'm asking for. Essentially, was what she's saying. Like, I've been doing all this for you.
I scratch your back. You scratch.
I think I deserve a we. You know what I'm saying? Like, so yeah, give me that. But you know, Jane is such a offside character that you don't see coming, and quite frankly, I can say the same about Trent, right? Because we're putting it together. He kills the librarian, and the librarian's wife ends up meeting up with old girl whose name is not Maggie, and decides to get in or actually makes it through, but having an issue with their bracelet is broken. He starts faking a panic attack and all this other stuff, and they manage to get through. To me, what's super crazy is in him telling the story, you realize that this man got sucked in to paradise. He's been there for quite some time, right? Until he sees Cal, because Cal comes in and is like, hey, where can I make a mixtape? And then boom, it's almost like it triggers him back into why you're really here. That to me was just very crazy. I didn't see it coming. And yeah, I don't even know.
I feel like he was his own sleeper agent. Like, he was his own sleeper agent. Like, how you played yourself, forget why you come there, and it's like, oh yeah, that's why I'm here. Let me go fuck some shit up. Like, no, that's not how it works, bro. You can't just be like, all right, you know what?
That's why I felt like
I know you. Y'all know you.
Yeah, that's why I felt like it was obsessive to a point because you forgot about Adam. You forgot about him. And then you seen Cal over there wanting to make a mixtape. Like, what did Cal? It was just, I don't know.
What did
he didn't even know who really ran the place. Like, what was a mixtape? Like, Cal can't make mixtapes. Like,
he said Adam would never get to make a mixtape again.
Exactly. Like, I was looking at him like, that's where I said it's mental now. It's mental and it's obsessive because you did too much. You did too much. You admitted that you was chilling.
Yeah.
Hilarious. He said, I ain't gonna lie, I had the big house, the big house, the library in which I loved. and then you came into my space, and I said, you know what, you gotta die. Like what?
But you know what's crazy to me, and that's a good point that both of you made, because think about it. If he was while he's telling Xavier the story, he's saying like paradise is the same thing as it was up top. You had an opportunity to make it better. So if you're already upset that there are people who you think are the cabinets or living wealthy who are in these big houses, but other people are in what, like smaller houses? Like, I'm confused. I didn't see any apartment buildings. I thought everybody had a house. You know what I'm saying?
You get a house. You get a house.
Right. So I'm very confused, but to me, Trent is bent on making sure that he gives Xavier the play-by-play, which I thought was a very interesting kind of way to.
It's a justification of his actions.
Right. Yeah. That's true. That's true. Because now technically he's a murderer. He's a murdering librarian.
He's a murdering librarian. The librarian who murdered the president. That's a book. That is a book. Can we write that book?
Yeah, cutting up over here, y'all.
Paradise was based off of the book name. Nah, let me stop. But that's funny though, because man, that is crazy.
But of course, meanwhile, when this is happening, the cabinet themselves are going nuts, right? Because they just got released from being held hostage. They're trying to figure out, and now they know, like, it's out, like that Cal's death was foul play. Like, people are starting to hear about it because they've made this announcement. They're putting people in a panic, which I think is very interesting. And what I just remembered is when they're saying this on the TV, they actually show Maggie, right? They show Maggie, like they pan to her because she is also an imposter. She's not supposed to be there. So that's a very interesting, moment to look at. It's just so crazy to me because in the midst of all this, Sinatra still, like Tone mentioned earlier, trying to keep a hold on Jane, telling Jane not to do anything. But my thing is also, you don't tell a killer that you're still wrestling with what to do with the kid, because the killer is more than likely going to want to kill the kid. I'm very confused. It's just a stupid conversation to have.
Speaking of killers and not knowing what to do, by the end of this, I realized Billy died for nothing.
He definitely did.
Billy didn't have to die.
Real one.
Billy didn't have to die.
Yeah,
he only died because they were stupid. Sinatra and Jane moving too fast. It pissed me off now. Now reflecting, and then Jane had the audacity to try to talk to Presley about her memories with Billy, and I'm like, oh,
yeah.
Sitting at the same table you killed him at? Come on.
Disrespectful.
Oscar. So what did I say about Jane, man?
No, I mean, that is true. Now that I think about it, Billy did die for nothing, and man, I love Billy. He was really growing on me. That character, I think he did such a good job, and while we're talking about Billy, we know that Xavier says that him and Billy must have missed something, right? That Robinson must have missed something, because now he's going back to the crime scene to figure out what it was. And I love, again, the attention to details. If you watch closely, when he's realizing, when they do the playback, okay, Cal put this CD here, right? He put this CD here. Like, what are we talking about? He realizes this is a CD for Jeremy, who, by the way, still has the tablet and is still currently reading the files off the tablet while Sinatra is trying to erase the tablet. What do we think about this? That he's still out telling the people what's going on? Like, Denny, what's your thoughts?
I love that. Only because the way the episode comes to a conclusion a bit, and how his final words to his son was, "If you don't like the world that I built, fix it."
I love that.
And I feel like he said, "You are what you love," and that was so powerful, because I feel I am you and you are me, and that's the difference. Is he's not his father, which is so crazy, because he didn't say that. He didn't include his father in this line in his lineage of like passing the torch. You feel
Yep.
me? Because he's breaking that generational curse of living for your last name and living for what's right. And I love
Yep.
that.
Yeah.
And I feel like Cal was a great president. That's my president. Talking about not my president. That's my president. Shoot.
Nah, I
Cal
think,
for
yeah.
president in real life, man. Because
I think that joint, yeah, that was definitely super powerful. That quote, and I think that I don't know, it's a little unsettling about Jeremy kind of spewing all this info just unsupervised. Like he was just the president kid. Do he have Secret Service? Because I don't think it's safe for him to continue. And I don't know, but and I also feel like if Cal, he's on some fix it stuff. Is there a hierarchy when the president died, the son? Like it's kind of like, all right,
the
but how
president, not the king. Heard you.
yeah, yeah. So when they show him preaching that joint, I'm like, I don't know if that's how.
Listen, it's about the revolution.
It's gonna be his way. So
Yeah.
I thought that was cool, but yeah, I love the fact that he was like, yeah, like he was basically saying, I'm not my dad, and I love you, son, and I'm proud of you, son.
Yeah.
And that little message there, that was dope.
He told his son to throw a coup. is what-
Basically.
He told his son to get the people together and riot, start a revolution.
Yeah.
That's
I
cool.
wonder, you know what?
That's why he made the mixtape.
Yeah, on the
Songs. Like, think about all the songs
Absolutely.
that he's on there.
sing your songs,
I am
baby.
the tiger. I the tiger.
Dennis.
The fuck? Don't you
Mhm.
forget about me? Come
That-
on,
yeah.
in a Breakfast Club. That
That's what I'm doing.
song is about triumph. You feel me? Like every song that he put his son onto, like I told y'all. throughout
Look
this
at
whole
Dennis coming out.
season- Listen,
Look
all
at
right, mind your
Dennis.
all right. No, because I told y'all throughout this whole season, I love the soundtrack because, and it now makes sense. Like all of the songs that they put on this mixtape and on this soundtrack was about overcoming adversity. It's about triumph. It's about keep your eye on the prize. About overcoming like whatever obstacles are in your way. Don't let nothing stop you. Come on,
Yeah.
Eye of the Tiger. That's Rocky. Come on, that's one of the greatest movies of all time. Like, I like the way they incorporated so much memorable, like triggering things. You know, like things that are synonymous with what the message was that they tried to
Yeah.
convey, and I love that.
Yeah.
Listen, it was full circle.
Yeah,
Well
it absolutely was, and I plan on downloading that soundtrack after we log off. So yeah,
Please.
shout out
Don't you
to the music
forget
producer
about me.
of the show, because you have music makes the show, acting makes the show, all the components together in the right way literally grab hold of you, and you're like, like I said to you guys earlier, like I was watching episode 1 with my fiance last night, and I'm just like, oh my God, like look at this. Like, this is crazy. You always see some things differently than what you saw when you first watched it. And I mean, again, just phenomenal work with this cast, the producer, and it's really good. And so as we are kind of coming towards the end, right, we notice that Xavier starts figuring it out. He ends up in the library. Now, my only pet peeve with Xavier in this part is, sir, you don't know who's watching you. You Secret Service. Be on your P's and Q's, sir. How you getting knocked out in the library knowing that there's somebody running around here loose that ain't supposed to be down here?
Right.
First of all, I just want to say he's evaded Sinatra, he's evaded Billy, he's evaded all these Secret Service agents, but get knocked out by a mining librarian.
Listen, blunt force trauma Trent.
A mining librarian.
Blunt force.
No special training.
Nothing.
No, nothing. He got beat by an average Joe, and he's supposed to be. And what makes it work? All right, I'm sorry, I don't want to go there, so I'm gonna just.
Yeah.
No, we're gonna go there. He was like, no, because I need that book for my wife. He was going outside.
going
Going
out
outside.
sad. I'm
To-
like,
to Project
I didn't
X.
like his attitude this whole episode. I'm sorry. Who was this man? He didn't show up as Xavier.
Nah, he
saw-
showed up when he shot those 2 bodyguards. He
All
definitely.
right.
He
All
pulled
right,
up
all
to
right,
it.
all right, all right. He showed up later, but I'm
Yeah.
talking about before we ain't get there yet. He ain't show up yet. We still waiting for him to show up to the party.
Listen, when
Where
you're
the fuck
talking
the
about a man's
function?
wife and you talking about a man's children, you listen, it's a different kind. You gotta be smart. I think Xavier for the whole time, like he played it smart and he had to, because what else was he going to do without knowing the full knowledge of what was going on with Presley? You got me.
If he would have killed Sinatra
It's
when he was
honestly.
supposed to, it
Do
wouldn't
you
happen.
feel? Oh, sorry. Do you feel that Xavier really? I don't know. It's Jane for me. It's Jane because he had no clue that she had that grip of power that she could have crushed his life. Like how he was really doing that. He could have really been doing that for real. And I just feel like, yes, he did what he had to do in the clues wise, but as far as getting Presley, that's so unraveled, that it was so unwrapped, and he really didn't have a hand on it until she came on it and made him did that woman thing. I ain't gonna lie, the manipulative, make him think he got control of the situation. I'm with the fellas today, okay? Because that was nasty works, and it made me question, like, it's her fate. I mean, it's her doing strings and stuff. Like,
Women have taken down kings and empires, man. Listen, I'm just saying, the way a woman can disarm a man is so it's magic. I ain't gonna lie. Because the way she came in, she shot Sinatra in the neck and disarmed this man like she didn't just shoot a bitch in the neck. Like, I'm sorry. How? You killed
I don't even know. I don't got an answer for that one.
Presley. I have Presley. She was with me. Why was she with you if Sinatra said that she had somebody with what? Come on. He's not thinking.
That's what I was.
Yeah, he wasn't thinking, but also remember, this is the same man just a few episodes ago who said, well, where's Jane? We could use all of the hands on deck that we can, right? He's not thinking. He thinks Jane is a pacifier, newbie on the job with milk still coming off her lip, and he doesn't realize that she's an actual killer. Like, this is like, she is like I said, she's a sleeper agent. So he's not thinking about that at all. His focus is, okay, you said that you have her, she's safe, like, whatever the case is. She knew what she was doing and taking Jane out because taking Sinatra out because she knew that Sinatra could out her, right? And that's just what it was. And like HFG is saying, in that moment, he realized his daughter was actually alive. He wasn't thinking about all that. And I agree. His parental instincts are kicking in. Everything else is, I'll figure that out later. But right now, I just learned that my wife is alive, that Cal has been murdered by somebody who's not supposed to be down here, that my daughter was taken, but now she's good. You know what I mean? Like, there's a lot of different things going on through his head. And again, I say he still showed up. So I can't be mad at him for those moments that he's having where his human nature is popping off just because he's Secret Service. We have to think about, like, there's somebody in there that's still doing those things.
A mining librarian knocked you out and tied you up. You had a gun on your ankle.
Listen, I agree to your point that it was mad stuff going on. But listen, the same man
had a gun on his ankle, bro.
the same Xavier that was going through the apocalypse, world was ending, he still was being mad calm about knowing that his wife was not, like, till the very end. Like, so we can say, like, yes, all these things was going on, but I feel like maybe, like, I think, yeah, it's a breakdown of his character. Like, he was able to do that then. I don't think he said, I need my baby, I need my kid, because he lost his wife. He did. So, yeah, I was going.
Shari Odin says she just finished the last episode and it was kind of lackluster. I don't know. Something felt off. I'm not going to lie. I can definitely say it was a few dead moments throughout the episode. However, the action parts or the parts where people interacted for me filled it in more. Like it made it feel like a full episode by the end. The
I think
library.
that I think that it for me when you're talking about when you know this is a season finale and the series has gotten renewed, you don't need something super big because there is still something else that's coming, right? This is a pause in the series, and that's how I've learned to look at certain things, right? It's giving you just enough to know the next chapter is about to begin. And so for me, we had a lot of big moments in the season itself. I don't particularly myself needed anything bigger for the finale.
I feel like, to piggyback off of that, I feel as far as the reveal of the librarian, I loved it. The librarian dying, I didn't.
Yeah, I can't.
I would have loved for if that during that time the librarian had, instead of becoming a sleeper agent, had been cultivating allies of people that have made contact on the outside or something like that. You know what I mean? Or people that he snuck or smuggled in that are trying to rebel or take over the thing. Like, take it a little bit in a different
I
direction.
get you, but to Tone's point, he was too obsessed with killing Cal to even focus on getting other people.
Right.
And I also feel like
but the thing is though, I'm sorry, go ahead, Tom.
No, for the series moving on, like I feel like throughout the season, I was mind blown, like damn near every episode, and I do feel a little bit of what the person said, a little bit lackluster at the end, but with Isha's point, with Mai's point, I feel like they're giving us just enough so we can move to the next chapter, because now, like you said, we don't went from Paradise to was it I Am Legend? So
I Am Legend, right?
Cranked up the plane and everything, and we're moving to that next chapter. So I do feel like they could have given us more, but we so ready to see what's on Earth for real. Is like I'll take that.
Right. Yeah. I feel like they couldn't give us each and everything that we wanted to see, because it was too much. They introduced us to too much. So now that it's time to like really get to the nitty gritty, I guess they really have to filter out what it is that was important to the storyline to progress versus
right. I mean, because exactly. Because think about it. We're talking about episode 8, but everything from episode 1 is connecting. You see what I'm saying? The whole entire season really was just threading. You were making a whole ass blanket. You were doing like the whole entire time those big moments. Jane killing Billy, us not even knowing she's a sleeper agent, right? Not knowing Billy was a sniper. Like so many big moments that we had. For me, I think that you can get lost when you want too many big moments, right? And because they were giving it to us, they were filling in the gaps. Every single episode, they filled in the gaps. We weren't left like trying to figure out what was what. So when you're thinking about that, I think that that's one of those things where we kind of get accustomed to getting so much that we can't kind of like we're not grateful for those like small moments, so to speak. And I don't think that the finale was a small moment, but I think it had more pockets of small moments of things that were coming together full circle. And when you're full circling stuff, it can't always be big, if that makes sense.
I feel, to piggyback off of that as well, I feel we as viewers don't know the story that the director or the writer is trying to tell. So when we don't have the full story, we're just filling in blanks with what we think the story is. And I feel like in this season finale, they took us in the direction of which story they want to tell us instead of the story that we anticipated it going. Because I feel like a few times throughout this season, I thought I knew which direction it was going in, and then it went completely different. Like from the sleeper agent being Jane to the librarian being the killer and being someone that's not even have anything to do with the initial people who got accepted. You know what I mean? So that was like, to me, like a full circle event of how like the small people who were forgotten still has a voice at the end of the day to make a huge change in the world that they were supposedly left out of.
I feel like throughout a certain point of the series, I was thinking that it was a whodunit because we was trying to figure out who killed Cal. But like whodunits, you always find out at the end, and that's the final say. It's nothing more. So I feel like for this, at a certain point when they tell us who killed Cal, we're like, all right, cool, but there's more to the story. So I feel like that's why it's kind of like it's like that.
Jane is Delulu, Sherry. I hope I'm saying your name right, but Jane is Delulu. I think that for me, I'm not sure in terms of the librarian. I think that it makes sense for me. I like the beginning, the end, or the beginning, the middle, and the end of why he did what he did and why he existed.
Yes.
But I also think that his story didn't need to be drawn out, in my opinion, right? He completed his mission, like you said, so he was super obsessive. So for him, I completed my mission. I came here to kill Cal. Cal is dead, right? And it not necessarily made a difference because Cal was not the one pulling the strings. So I think that it just was a really good finale. I'm super excited for season 2. I can't believe that the season is done already, but I'm grateful that we did not get a binge season and we were actually able to have something to look forward to week by week.
Listen, I'm not gonna lie. 8 episodes, I feel I had a full season. And it was released weekly. I feel like I had a full season. Thank you, Paradise. Thank you, Hulu. Thank you, Disney. Thank you, whoever else is involved with these people. Man, that was great television for the world, man. I just want to say thank you. I'm not going to lie. I'm looking forward to season 2. I'm glad it got renewed for a season 2. But
absolutely,
Sterling K. Brown, you did an amazing job. We got Tone here.
Flowers.
Can we talk about it? We got Tone here, like Tone on stage.
Bring families back in front of the TV every week. That's it. Like I like the weekly. I'm not gonna lie. I be thirsty, but I do like the weekly every week. But yeah, I'm happy to pop out, and I usually pay the back, so. Hopefully, I wasn't too shy or nothing like that. But I
great job.
Hold on. Sorry. Yeah. So they only been in Paradise for 4 years.
Right. But the building of it started 12
years ago. Yeah. So 12 years ago, they started to build. Started the construction of the building. Or the whatever the hell it is, the dome,
the fake recycle,
the fake world,
fake recycle, the fake world, the fake.
Yo, how many recycling facilities have you seen go up in the last? I'm just saying, man.
None.
I'm a little nervous. I'm just saying, I do be seeing a lot of construction going on.
Let's keep our eyes open, people, and let's go get some really good jobs so we matter and they save us. And
how many people live in neighborhoods where y'all have people doing construction for the last 10 years and y'all still don't got the streets made right? Yeah, y'all know they out here, they plotting.
Oh,
okay.
I gotta learn how to make a cocktail.
Yeah,
I got in as a bartender.
Listen, man, all I'm saying is I just gotta make the world's best cheese fries. Nigga, I gotta make the world's
They know that they need
fries.
somebody to review the fake TV shows they might make. You know what I'm saying? Like,
hey, you know what? Nah. I'm trying to be the news anchor. I can tell you the weather.
Okay.
The screen is
sunrise is delayed by 4 hours today. It'll be dark outside.
Yo, nigga said I can do the weather.
The wind is going that way.
Guys, we appreciate you.
What would be your paradise job, man?
Tell us what your paradise job would be and how you would contribute to the new world the new underworld.
Right? The new world in the canyon.
Like world in a rock.
Nah, Sherry said that they out there digging up the streets in St. Louis. I don't know what they doing. I don't know, girl. You better go sneak. Go sneak a peek.
Go sneak a peek. Listen. Hey. make friends with a project manager, okay?
No, you gotta
Make friends with a project manager. You
gotta
never
just
know
stop.
when the project manager is gonna save your life
You never
or
know. Or just
kill the
kill
president.
somebody. Yeah, there we
Or
go.
kill the
Because
president
clearly.
after escaping jail and killing a family. Oh my
Mr.
god.
Blunt Force
Yo,
Trauma.
he's a serial killer at this point.
He is. He's a murderer. He's a like I said, he's a murdering librarian. He is.
Yo, literally.
For sure. But listen, guys, we appreciate you so much for rocking with us for these 8 episodes for this season. You know where to find us. We're gonna be right here on Big Gold Belt channel. You know, we review a lot of things. We do interviews. If you want to see us review something that maybe it's not on our radar, listen, let us know. Drop it in the comments. And you know where to find us. We'll be here. Tone, again, thank you, producer Tone in the building on the camera. We appreciate you being backstage and up front. So just want to give you your flowers. And you know what it is, guys. Until next time.
Peace.
Peace.